What's good, everybody? You know what time it is. If it's the night before the match, it's time for one more sleep. This one pushed back a few days thanks to hurricane or tropical storm Hillary. But nonetheless, we are here. You know my voice. It's the Scarf. J.R. Liebert right here in front of the semi-famous Scarf Wall in beautiful Lawndale, California. To my left. That's my left. There you go. To my left, my partner in pod. I'm not sure what shirt he's wearing because I can't really see it from the angle that he's at, but that is one Christian Philly Philemon.
Hello, Los Angeles. Hello, lovers of Major League Soccer. Hello, fans of the beautiful game. And, of course, hello to the millions.
And millions
of defenders of the Banc listeners. This is an Ultimate Warrior t-shirt given to me courtesy of our good friend Chris Lafferty. It was a birthday present. He got me 2 Ultimate Warrior t-shirts, my favorite wrestler of all time, and I'm happy about it. That's what it is. That's all I got to say about that.
Works out well because you don't like to do laundry, so that's good. You get 2 of them. So there you go.
It's funny you should say that. My freshman year in college, I didn't really want to go down in the on the bottom floor to do the laundry. It was always crowded. So once things started piling up, I just went to Target and bought more socks and underwear rather than doing my own laundry. At one point, it got too mountainous, and I thought, all right, it's time I probably learn how to do this. So,
well, joke's on everybody because you don't even wear underwear now. So there you go.
Well, hey, you know what? You grow older, you start realizing you can live without certain things, and underwear is something I could live without.
Okay. All right. Philly, this was pushed back a couple of days. Colorado Rapids coming in town. It was supposed to be on, what was that, Sunday? I think it was Sunday, right? Was it Sunday?
Sunday.
Yeah. Supposed to be on Sunday. Hurricane Hillary had other plans. First of all, we want to make sure everybody is safe and good to go after the hurricane, tropical storm, however it affected you guys. We hope that everybody is okay out there. It was relatively low key in the South Bay. I don't know what it was like for you out there in Burbank.
I mean, I grew up in the Northeast with all the seasons, all the elements, 7-degree weather, rain, snow, sleet, hail, rain, all that jazz. To me, it was no different than just a day in the fall in New York City. I understand why people freaked out about it because it did cause a bit of damage. And the city's not necessarily equipped to tackle rainfall like that. I mean, I heard some areas got more rain than they had over the course of an entire year in just a day. So I understand that aspect of things. But I mean, for a guy from the Northeast, it was no big deal. And fortunately, we didn't have any leaks in the ceiling. I don't know if you did, but it was kind of calm and it was perfect. It was one of those very rare Sundays that I got to enjoy that you wouldn't necessarily have gotten to enjoy much of in the past. Just getting to kind of sleep in, hang out on the couch, and not feel guilty about not doing anything. I really miss and enjoyed that.
Yeah, the rain helps with that, right? It makes you want to stay inside a little bit more, just kind of hang out. Earthquake didn't really help. How many, I was thinking about this. You've been out here, going on 8 years now, right?
2016, so January.
So 7. All right. How many earthquakes, like real earthquakes, have you felt?
That I could recall 3. The first time I'd felt one was when your significant other was doing a podcast with my significant other and our friend Amy. I think it was right around 4th of July weekend. So back in 2019, somewhere around there, I was lying in bed and all of a sudden I started feeling like the vibrations. And I thought, man, Schmitty's getting big. Like, what is this? But then looking in the closet, starting to see the clothes rattle, I realized then and there, oh, poop, this is an earthquake. It was weird. And then I think a couple of days later, it's when I really felt that we could see this furniture move. That was wild, but that's all I can say I've had any experience with. Yeah, the other day was, I don't know, the cats didn't notice it, so obviously I don't know if that many people would have noticed it. People in Ojai certainly noticed it.
Epicenter a little far away from us out in Ojai, but again, we hope everybody's okay. Look, this is something that has been put off for just a couple of days, but like Gerardo Rios is saying, it is not going to stop the beatdown of the Colorado Rapids. I tell you what will stop me, though, Philly, as we get to the match tomorrow. I'm going to have to stop in the fields before we get to the match because let me tell you, Tacos Way, triple beamers are all going to be set up ahead of time inside fields. I got to say, I was talking to our buddy Benny from LAFC, and I said to him at the start of the season, I was like, Benny, all you guys have to do to make the field successful is literally put in burgers, tacos, and pizza to start before the match. And of course, they didn't just put in burgers, tacos, and pizza. They put some of the best burgers in LA and Amboy Burgers. Nancy Silverton's Pizza. And if you guys haven't watched the Chef's Table episode of Nancy Silverton, please make sure you watch Nancy Silverton's Chef's Table. Triple bean pizza is unreal. And of course, our good friends at Tacos Way are going to be down there as well. The Tacos Way tacos. Your wife and I fell in love with Tacos Way tacos the last time we were there. I mean, I don't think we could have eaten more of them than we did. That's going to be it's going to be a lot of fun. And oh, by the way, I think the bar will be open in there as well.
No, it's well overdue. It's a great spot. Nice place for people to get together, meet up, and hang out. And I don't know, maybe that leads to other ambitions, perhaps opening up the upstairs so people can enjoy the aftermath of the post matches rather than going up to Sunset. Sunset can get kind of crowded. It's nice to have another option and open up the free play aspect. I miss the Julius Peppers. I miss the camaraderie and everything that went on at the end of games in there. So hopefully this is just one small step into reopening things that we really enjoyed the first 2 seasons.
Absolutely. What we also need to reopen is the MLS season. Just 11 matches to go in our 34 match season. It's going to be a lot of fun down the stretch, although St. Louis not making things easy on us, getting that 6-3 win. My God, no defense whatsoever. 6-3 win a couple of nights ago. Was it last night or the night before? I don't know. It all kind of blurs together right now. Either way, they are now 7 points up on us with 11 matches for us to play. Now, we do have a match in hand, but Philly, I'm going to go ahead and on record and say something right now. And this, I don't know if you consider it a hot take. I don't know what you all think out there. Defenders Nation, let us know what you think. To me, this is a must win if we are going to win the West. 7 points back, 11 matches to go. This is a must win because this team is god awful that we are playing tomorrow.
Things are going to change. But if you do look at the Supporters Shield standings, only Inter Miami is worse than the Colorado Rapids are right now, which is funny. And that's obviously going to change because Messi has not had the opportunity to play in a regular season. And he still isn't tomorrow because his squad is going up against Cincinnati in the semifinals of the U.S. Open Cup. It's wild to think that he's already won 1 cup. He could potentially win another, and yet his team may, in fact, struggle to make the playoffs and not even get anywhere near MLS Cup. So it's a strange scenario. But Colorado, you said it. The last time we played them, they were in 14th place. When we play them tomorrow, guess what? They're still in 14th place. They've won 3, I repeat, 3 games all season, and they've only scored 16 goals up to this point. In the history of this league, there have only been 3 teams that have scored fewer goals in 23 games played, and ironically enough, FC Cincinnati was one of them. There's never been a year in which Colorado has failed to score less than 20, and this could be the year. But they have reinforcements. Ruben is back and healthy. He hasn't played since June, so that's a good note. But this is not a very good Colorado Rapids team, but they do have reinforcements, and we'll get into that in a moment.
Yeah, for sure. Look, we played them to a 0-0 draw April 1st, so it's not like we were beating the pants off of them the last time we had a shot, although it's always tough to play up there in Commerce City, Colorado. Not Denver, not a city you've heard of, Commerce City, Colorado. You and I had the opportunity to go up there in 2019. Look, since you mentioned it, and we'll talk about the reinforcements. So there's a caveat to all the crappy stats that we're going to give you about Colorado. They're bad, but they've got some good players coming in. But since May 9th, that is like 9 lifetimes ago, they have 1 win in 15 matches. 9 goals by 9 different players, by the way. They don't have a single person who scored more than 1 goal since May 9th. It is absolutely insane to think that this club, now granted, we had a little bit of a break. They got a little bit more of an extended break because they were god-awful in Leagues Cup. But this club going into the last, what are they, LAFC is calling it the home stretch, right? For us, it's 11 games. They tweeted out home stretch. They have literally nothing to play for except to be the spoilers for the rest of the season. They've got 11 games to play. We've got 11 games to play. There's no shot that they're climbing up, even though almost the entire league now makes the MLS Cup playoffs. There's no shot for them. So what they are going to do is to see how much havoc and carnage that they can cause in the standings. We need to be very, very careful that this is not a trap game. I see what LAFC is saying there. I'm going to post that right here. I'm a little worried about this. I hear you, LAFC. I'm with you.
I mean, you play to the level of your opponent. You rise to the occasion in a lot of cases and play excellent against excellent opponents. And sometimes you take the weaker opponents for granted. And some people get into that mental trap and fall into those types of circumstances. But we've had enough of a break. It's been 2 weeks since our boys have taken the pitch. A lot has transpired, and there's really no reason for us to go into BMO, a place that Colorado has, by the way, never won in the history of their franchise. They have never beaten us at home. The only time they've ever done so is in Commerce City, at that little tiny park called Dick's. I cackle when I say that, but this is a team that they really have nothing to lose. Their season is done. But as I mentioned, they bring in a couple of players, Scarf. Stan Kroenke finally decided to open up his wallet and sign a designated player. It only took God knows how many years. And his name is Rafael Navarro. This is a kid who's coming in from Brazil, from Palmeiras, a unbelievable and historic franchise. And he's a guy who contributed quite well on their Copa Libertadores Cup. He was on their 22 league winning team. This is a kid that is pretty darn good, and he's going to look to be a big part of the attack. In addition to him, they signed another individual by the name of Sidney Tavares. Now, as a New York Islanders fan, I see that last name and it makes me cringe with animosity and hatred. This is a kid signed as a result of the U22 initiative on loan from FC Porto, Portugal Giants Porto. And here's a kid who began his professional career at Leicester City in the English Premier League. So they got a couple of players that are going to potentially play tomorrow, and we don't really know much about them. We haven't seen any video on them, and these are two individuals who are probably going to make an impact, and they're going to be pretty tough to defend.
I mean, look, they have to make an impact considering how bad Colorado has been. Everybody looks at Rafael Navarro from Brazil. He's the new DP. He's their third DP, by the way. They've got Maxu, and they've got the incredible Kevin Cabral. Those are their other two DPs. Yes. Yeah. He's playing better for them than he was with Carson.
And he's still getting paid by Carson too. That's the best part.
Rafael Navarro, you mentioned it, Philly, 8 goals in 13 Libertadores matches, 3 goals in 52 other matches with Palmeiras, 3 goals in 52 other matches. As much as I like this new signing, Rafael Navarro, and I think he's definitely going to be an improvement over, for instance, Michael Barrios, who was recently traded away, Brian Acosta in the midfield, recently traded away, goalkeeper Marco Ilic, recently sent on loan. This is a club that is trying to do a little bit of what they call addition by subtraction with Barrios and Acosta. And look, it's going to be fun to see Rafael Navarro. I have no idea who he is other than I've seen him play a little bit because watching Palmeiras for Edward Atuesta, I've seen him play just a little bit. No idea about Sidney Tavares, the Portuguese player who came up through Leicester. But look, what we know is they have nothing to lose, right? This is a club. You have to remember, though, Philly, they're terrible. They're god-awful, right? The only team worse than the Galaxy in the West, 19 points and a league low 16 goals in 23 matches. But only 4 teams in the West, including us, have given up fewer goals this season than their 30 goals. So they don't give up a ton of goals. You would think that by match day 24 in the season, which is what this will be for them, if they were on 16 goals scored, they'd have a lot worse than a minus 14 goal differential. But the one thing they can do well is defend. And I got my buddy with a lot of salad in that bowl up top, Lalas Abubakar. He is so much fun for me to watch. I like watching that guy. They just signed him to a long-term contract. He's not my player to watch because I got a different player to watch, but he's definitely a player that I'll be watching on the back line over the course of this match.
Yeah, and it's also important to note that one of their key players who normally has an impact in matches against us, Jack Price, he's not going to be playing as a result of an Achilles. Diego Rubio, I did mention that he did come back. He did score in a previous encounter, but Their notes are just telling me that upper body, he's going to be out. And I'd really like to get down and dirty and figure out why Max isn't going to be playing, because he doesn't have an injury. He was just simply removed from team activities. I wonder what he did there. But another player that we're going to be without is Cheeky Palacios. Cheeky did not play in our last matchup against Monterrey, and we were told that he fell ill by LAFC PR. And that's all that they would say. Now we're being told that it's a result of family scenarios, it's personal issues, and he has an excused absence. So whatever it is, we don't know what it is. We haven't been leaked. We're not lying to you, I promise you. I have no clue what's wrong with Cheeky Palacios. He will not be on our 18 as per LAFC's media notes this evening. So that's going to be another big loss, but not against the Colorado Rapids. I think we'll feel that a little more when we go down over to Charlotte and play the CLT, otherwise known as, well, family friendly. I can't say what I'm about to say. But,
yeah, look, I've said it over and over and over again. I get that Ilie Sanchez, I get that Denny Bouanga, I get that Carlos Vela are extremely important.
Hey, we missed you too.
But I'll say this. I think, like for like, the most important player on our back line and the player who we have the least ability to replace is Cheeky Palacios. And I think that when he goes down, we are a massively different club on the back line and a massively different club on the attack. I think that's something where his value cannot be overstated. And I said it before, I think it is a travesty, a sham, and a mockery, a Travis sham mockery that he was not named to the All-Star game this last year. I personally think he should be a best 11 selection in the league. That's how good Cheeky Palacios is. So it is a massive, massive drop-off. All due respect to Sergi Palencia. I mean, that's pretty much our only option back there. We've tried several other things, and no, don't do that again. No Ilie, no Eric Duenas. Please don't do that to those poor guys. What we need to do is to make sure that we get Cheeky Palacios back. I hope everything is okay with his family. Yeah, we heard it straight from the horse's mouth when they said, oh, he wasn't feeling well in the game against Monterrey. Okay, but then he has personal family stuff, everything that's going on. And we just, look, hope everything is okay. Hope it's not anything major with Cheeky Palacios. But that being said, Philly, we've talked an awful lot about all these guys. Why don't we get into our players to watch? I'll go first. I just remember how bad Kevin Cabral was with Carson. And so I want to watch him. I want to see how he does. It's going to be really interesting. He's a designated player after coming over from Liga 2, not Liga 1, but Liga 2. Doesn't really do it for me, does Kevin Cabral. But you know what? I want to watch him. I want to see how he does, especially because Rafael Navarro is coming to take his spot. I know he's a DP, but Rafael Navarro is coming to take people's minutes. We'll see what happens with Sidney Tavares, but he's pretty terrible. So I want to watch Kevin Cabral. And the birthday boy, Mati Bogusz. I think this kid is getting more and more accustomed and acclimated to our system. Steve Cherundolo has to be loving what he's seeing. I know we are loving what we are seeing. I am predicting at least one, if not two, goal contributions tomorrow from Mati Bogusz. Who you got, Philly?
Very bold. Happy 22nd birthday. That's
Oof.
God, that was such a long time ago for the both of us. And no old man jokes, but 22 is quite a long time from. Well,
that's almost half your age.
Yeah, crazy. My players to watch are simple. If he does get the opportunity to play, you got the designated player, somebody who's going to look to make an impact on this team right away. Rafael Navarro from Rafael Navarro from Palmeiras has played in some pretty electrifying matches. LAFC versus Colorado Rapids isn't going to be what he would consider an electrifying match. That being said, he has to feature for this team. They don't have any scoring options. They've had 16 goals that have been scored over the course of an entire season. And if they're going to get anything, it's going to have to come from somebody that they bring in like a designated player. So if this guy comes in, keep your eyes out on Navarro. And it's low-hanging fruit. But between Denny Bouanga and Carlos Vela, you have 85% of the regular season goals scored or contributed to. 85% of our 34 goals over the course of the Major League Soccer regular season have come by way of either Denny or Carlos. If you want to do the math, Denny's got 12 goals. Carlos has 8. Denny's got 3 assists. Carlos has what? I think 9 or 8. That's 85%. Our offense relies on these players, and this is who you want to come pay to see. You want to see Carlos, and he should feature in the match. He's been in training, but Denny Bouanga is our all-star right now. This is the guy that makes our engine move, and you'd have to be a schmuck not to keep your eyes out on our great one, the number 99.
Yeah, Denny Bouanga, as good as it gets. You still haven't been able to spell Denny Bouanga's name right over the course
really?
of several.
Did I mess it up again? Dang it, I thought I proofread.
Yeah, it's all right. I love you. Don't worry. We're good. Look, keys to the match, it's simple. We got to get out on the front foot. Take the action to them, score early and often, however you want to put it. The bottom line is the longer you let garbage teams hang around, the more they think they should be there on the pitch with us. So what we need to do is to take it to them, attack, and then at the end of the match, all of a sudden we look up, it's 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, whatever it might be, and we just roll them all the way back to Commerce City. To me, it's simple. Just control the attack and score lots of goals. I know. That's astute analysis here by the Scarf. I don't care. This is a club that we should be able to run roughshod over, test their back line, score early and often, take the action to them, take it to the bank.
I like it. As far as what I have to say, first and foremost, leave the luggage at home. Yes, I know we're going to Charlotte on Saturday, so you need to bring it with you. But what I mean by that is the psychological luggage. We have competed in several matches this season. We have not been very successful in these outside tournaments. We lost in the Open Cup. We lost in the Leagues Cup. We lost in the CONCACAF Champions League. We were a team that was focused on winning everything, and thus far we've won nothing. But you can't keep dwelling on the past. I know that the loss to Leon was something that deeply affected the psychological makeup of our players. Carlos Vela told us that himself in a press conference. It really hurts. And I don't know what the mentality is in the locker room after losing to Monterrey. And I got to tell you, as a fan and a supporter, it stinks having watched them go out and lose to Nashville and for us not to be in that final against Messi. Really chaps me the wrong way. My glass half full perspective on that is we got to save a couple of bucks, but that's a loser's mentality. I would have preferred spending the money and winning the whole damn thing. So first and foremost, leave the luggage at home. And I'm also telling this to myself. And then, like you said, attack. We need to step on their throats immediately, not let them think that they have a shot in hell at beating our club. They step off the plane. They need to know that they can get back automatically on that plane, get out of here, lick their wounds, and live to fight another day. We give them any inch or shred of hope, not going to be a good thing. And again, this is a team that has never won in BMO. We've lost a fair amount of games. I think we've almost lost as many games this season as we did during that bonkers, terrible season when we got beat by them in the final game of the season on decision day. We need to attack, step on their throats, and absolutely annihilate them, give them no hope, and we go on.
I hear you. So wait, I just want to make it clear. Your key to that second key of the game, it's attack, and then what do you do after that one?
Attack some more. You don't just attack once.
Got it.
You attack 3 times, and that's going to play into. Here's a smooth segment. That's going to play into our scoring predictions.
Yeah, sounds good. I know what our scoring prediction is going to be because you got angry at me. So I'll let the cat out of the bag and say you may see a very similar scoreline. I'll say this. This could be one of those matches that we win very uncomfortably 1-0, just because I think Colorado is going to bunker the heck out of BMO. I think they will. But I think it's going to be one where we score early, and that forces Colorado to open things up a little bit. And I think as we force clubs like Colorado to open up a little bit, what Steve Cherundolo has said at several different press conferences this year is that we are a very tough team to play against when we are ahead. So I think that we come out early, we get a goal early, and it opens everything up. And by the way, Ruben, from your lips to God's ears, I would love for another goal by number 14. Just saying.
Ooh, I wish I would have picked 5-0. You remember when we did 110 pregame back in the day when we actually had a fun gig? This is a fun gig, but that was a fun gig too. And Connor predicted a ridiculous lopsided win of like 5s, and he got it.
And they won. Yep.
And they won. That was kind of cool. All right, my score prediction. Oh, go ahead.
I got 3-0. What you got?
Well, Attack, attack, attack. There's the key. There's the hint. I said the same thing. And these last 4 games you and I have done, we literally have made the same predictions. In fact, to the point where I just had to change one of my scoring lines because I thought there's no way Scarf and I can predict the same damn thing over and over again. But that's my prediction. I don't think this is a very good team. Sure, William Yarbrough got a clean sheet on his back early on in the season in a 0-0 snooze fest. I just don't see that happening right now. Our team is hungry. Our team is rested, and there really is no excuse for us not to have an offensive explosion against, forgive me for saying this, a very shitty Colorado Rapids team.
Matthew asked us a quick question. Do I think Maxime makes his return tomorrow? Not yet. I do not. I don't know when or how they're going to do that. I'll say this. That's the one thing I think will be interesting to see how Steve Cherundolo, and maybe it's a John Thorrington thing, maybe it's someone else who is going to make that call, but it's a very interesting situation that they have to navigate. I'll say this. Whatever John McCarthy has done so far, he has not even warranted the thought, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel, Philly, but I feel like this season, it is still John McCarthy's job to lose. And unless he goes out there and has a howler or just plays terribly over the course of 90 minutes, maybe a couple matches in a row, which we haven't seen it so far. I think it's, unfortunately for Maxime, because you and I love Maxime Crepeau, we also love John McCarthy. It's a really interesting problem to have. I mean, Steve Young was backing up Joe Montana for a long time. That's all I got to say.
I couldn't have said it any better myself. If McCarthy has a really bad game, that's when you put Maxime in. Maxime's gotten a bit of run with LAFC too, and obviously you can't put any of those losses on Maxime, but I don't believe that John should lose his job. I think if he continues to play that he plays, he takes us all the way to as far as this team can go. We've been riding on him all season long, and he's really come up strong for us. In our losses this season, I would not really pin many of the goals on John. He has been on point even during PKs. He's gone the right direction. He just hasn't been able to make some of those stops. He is our starting keeper to me until proven otherwise.
I'm with you. Look, I'll tell you one other thing that's going to happen. I'm getting both a slice of pizza tomorrow and an Amboy's burger. I think Panda's going to wind up getting a Taco Sway taco or two, so I'm just going to have to steal a bite of hers. But I'm excited tomorrow for free play.
Wait for my wife's taco.
Hey, whoa, hey, that got weird real quick. But yeah, no, look, 3-0 and 3-0. And Philly, again, just one more time for the millions.
And millions.
It's attack, and then what was the third thing again?
Attack, but you know what? I think we should add another attack and another attack, because I do like that 5-0 scoring line a hell of a lot better than 3.
All right, Oscar, if you're right, next drink is on Philly. I like it.
Down. In fact, the next 6-pack is on Philly if we get 5. Or better yet, 6-pack. I'll get you a 6-pack or 5 beers at the bar, whatever. We get 5 on me. Happy.
I like it. All right. You know what we're doing tomorrow, you guys? We're beating up on Colorado. This is going to be fun, and we have a sweet outro.
Yeah, that we do.